So the Friday before, we was out driving at Bradford for possibly one of the most stressful and manic Bradford 3-for-2s that we took part in. But we are going to do a video on that one later. But a little friend over here, Essa, gave a nice suggestion, and this is what we decided to do the following day. What the hell? So hello there bandits, and we are here at the Three Sisters circuit. It's my first time doing outdoor karting in any kind of fashion, so I'm really hyped up for this. Got to say a big thanks for Essa coming out to this track today and thinking, do you know what, it's a great idea. So what we're going to do is push it out in a public session, see how we're going to go for our first time, and get that first feel for it. What we're going to do is jump ahead to the first lap, but before you do that, give us a like and subscribe. Click a bell for the notifications, and let's get this underway. So we're starting off just after Lunar Bend and the green flags go out, so we're just going to go straight on to the Conrod Straight and fire it through, get this overtake over here, push out wide, and I'm just trying to get a feel for where I need to get the brakes, so I do pull back a little bit there, straight through the S's, and I'm following this chap ahead of me, so what we're going to do is take it a little bit tight on the inside, throw it down, and again it's just a little bit of exploring, so early braking and getting the accelerator back on again to carry it through. You can see the car is already pulling me out wide because so much speed and so much of a funny corner for it. So I see a gap open up, I sneak it on the inside, he sees me just at the last second, and we get that second overtake straight into yellow flags, and not only just seeing one but two people spin out. So what I'm going to do is just have a look, and there he is, and I can just see him creeping across. So as we're coming around the Lunar Bend, I'm going to get that foot down because we're out of the yellow sector, and just close him off, running onto the Conrod Straight where we've got a nice little gap, and we'll skip ahead to when we catch up to the action. Onto lap 4, we can see this guy is just taking it a little bit more cautiously, a little bit nappy, so he takes it tight, ready for the Lunar Bend, but I'm going to come around the outside, ready to get the inside on the following corner, get that nice little overtake there, trying to follow at least a bit of a racing line and taking it back on the inside, ready for the Conrod Straight, and all I'm doing is looking behind, making sure we've got a nice big clearance behind us as we've got 3 guys ahead of us. So straight on, a little bit of the early brake and just back on the accelerator, nice and early to push us through, almost to the curb, through the S's, and back on the straight, heading towards Joey Dunlop corner. Brake a little bit earlier, then get the gas back on just to carry it through, and we can see we've got a little bit of a faster corner there. So what we're going to do now is push through for the paddock bend, and we can see he's taking the inside there and the inside there, so we're going to have a look a little bit on the outside, see if we can go for a little switchback, but he's holding it tight to the line. There's one guy that span out there, so we just hold it back a little bit, and back into the Lunar Bend. We get a foot back down, look again on the inside of the Lunar Bend itself, and we can see he's just holding that racing line there. So what I'm going to do is hold it back out to the outside, hope for that straight line speed. And as you can see, we're getting that little bit of gap. He's not seen us, and it's getting to a point where he's going to push more towards the grass, so I'm just going to ease it back. He's obviously seen us, but we have the outside line, and just carry it through the S's, get the overtake there, and push on through the remaining part of the S's onto the straight, heading towards the Joey Dunlop corner. Now, it's a funny one, this one, because it's probably the only braking point really here, and I'm still taking this a little bit nervously because it is a bit of a challenging corner out of all of them. What we're going to do is push it through for the paddock bend, straight down, foot all the way through, and we can see those two having a little bit of fight. The one ahead comes off the track and re-enters, kicking up a little bit of dust, so we're going to see whether we can take advantage of that. The Lunar Bend, taking the inside lines, trying to keep the minimising of the steering while keeping that foot down all the way through here. And here we are on the Conrod Straight, seeing if we're going to make any time there. Doesn't look like we're going to get it this time round because it's a yellow flag, so we'll skip ahead. So heading down to Joey Dunlop on the same lap, about a couple of seconds ahead, we can see the yellow guys are pushed out wide, so what we're going to do is follow through with the guy in the red jumpsuit, grey helmet, and see what moves we can get over here. So we're heading towards the paddock bend, absolutely trying to figure out a place. So we did have the inside, but we're going to just follow him through, so we timed up the gap and follow this Rogerson Straight into the Lunar Bend. We'll take the inside here, followed by the inside all the way around this part of the lunar bend, and it's foot down, never coming off that brake really, and see what time we can make here. At this point we can see that I'm not really quite catching up to him here, so the plan here is pretty much going to be, if I can't get him on the straights, I'm going to get him on the corners. So lifting on this corner for the first time, and seeing this has worked out way better for me, following the racing lines of the S's, and keep that foot down here, a little stab of the brakes, and then bringing it around this next corner. He actually loses his back end a little bit, which has caught me up with a lot of time on this guy, so looking into the paddock bend on the inside, see if it's going to happen, but I'm too far back. Going around the paddock bend here and seeing what time I'm going to get ready into the Rogerson straight, and that gap still maintains itself, so we're going to go around this lunar bend from the left to the right, see what's happening. You can see his racing line's a little bit erratic and it's not quite the racing line, so I'm just going to follow the curve on the way around and see if we can get the inside, but he's a little bit trying to figure out the fight here, so he gets for an overtaking position. I'll push back to the racing line, have the outside, and take him on the outside of the S's. Nice little job there. And as we charge down through the S's, heading towards Joey Dunlop, I know I've got this guy for corners and the speed for it, so into the Joey Dunlop, just bring it out. He's taking a little bit slow on the exit. I'll take the inside line, get my foot down, and carrying the speed, so I'm getting ready, set up for the paddock bend on the inside here, but I don't have him for the next corner, so he's just going to push it that a little bit further back. Tile squealing as I'm just keeping the foot down. He's keeping an eye on me, so what we're going to do is go into the lunar bend, straight into the left, following for the curb. I'm going to take a later apex here just to take the inside line a little bit more, so I can follow it through on the curb, foot down, and there's another overtake on that guy, and we're just going to keep pushing through, make sure we've got the distance, and we'll skip ahead to the next bit of the action. Lap 11, and at this point we're quite comfortably ahead from a couple of people, but instead one guy, the red hooded guy we're going to call him, managed to get the inside of me heading towards Conrad Straight. And to be honest, I kind of like this part of it because it gets me into a bit of a racing mood, because I don't want to give up that kind of position, get the fastest time, so I'll get the better exit coming into the S's and on the way back out, and I've still managed to maintain that gap. So what I'm going to do is have a little bit of trail braking here and back on the accelerator. I lose it a little bit. You can see the guy heads lusty a little bit more on the rear, so we're going to head up towards the Conrad Straight. I'll look for the inside line. He sees me, so I'm going to get my foot down across for lap 12, and I'm going to come around the following corner right into the Rogerson Straight, box him off a little bit, but take the outside line. I can see that I've managed to just get it, so I'm going to go into the lunar straight into the left, into the right, and Amapi is nowhere near me at this point. I'm going to count that as one of my overtakes there, and I know a couple of you will be thinking, but Mr. Blue Flags, that doesn't count as an overtake. In which I'll say, I don't really care, that's my overtake, because to be honest, just around this corner, S is just going to go past me, so we'll even it all out and call it square, yeah. Lap 13, and we have S ahead of us. We see the yellow flags, and then
the yellow flag will be displayed by a marshal if there is an obstruction ahead. Please take extra care where you see this flag. Slow down, do not overtake, and be prepared to take evasive action.
So yeah, this guy's completely ignoring the yellow flags, and he's even going on for racing S's, so what we're going to do is absolutely push it, and just a heads up, this guy is going to be an absolute pain throughout this entire situation. So what we're going to do is pull it up on the paddock bend, follow Leary around, ready for the Rogerson Straight, and see what we can do. Looking into the lunar bend, flick it around this corner again, a little bit of a later apex here, keeping that foot all the way down, and we can see the guy in the blue suit is just looking on the inside, left and right on Essa, onto the Conrad Straight. We see the yellow flag waving again.
The yellow flag, do not overtake.
And he goes in for the overtake, not over one, but two, straight into the S's, throwing it around, pointing it out to the marshals. Come on, guys, it's one of those where we're told yellow flags don't do anything, so now we're just going to get our foot down. At this point, me and SF probably had enough, and we're going to get this guy miles behind us in the near future. But before that, we're going on to the main straight, heading towards the paddock bends. We get this nice little overtake. Essa gets the one. I'm going to go the outside on the way of the paddock bends. But this guy spins it around, so we'll call that an overtake, and we'll push on. Back to lap 17, and we're just coming around the lunar bend, and we can see that the guy in the blue race suit, and there's another driver racing about here. The guy, unfortunately, that was just in the red jumpsuit, it's just been caught out, but the yellow flags that's been on for the last 3 or 4 laps turns off at this moment, so I'll just push through, get that overtake. And you can see S is having that fight there and almost get completely compromised by the guy in the blue race suit. He's just driving a little bit quite aggressive and defensively. So what we'll do is we'll use this to catch up a little bit with Essa. Essa takes the inside, and you can see the guy in the blue race suit is now being overtaken by Essa. So what we're going to do is we're going to see ourselves through the paddock bend onto the Rogerson straight, try to keep up with them. Looking into the lunar bend, we'll take it out from the outside and push it in to the left, straight back into the right, but I'm going to leave that a little bit of a later apex, see if we can get the inside. But these guy in the blue suit has done the same. He's then got his human DRS mode on to try and get that speed, but it's not really giving him that much because he's kind of weaving a little bit, not keeping the lines as straight as possible. So straight round into the S's, we can see that we're getting so much closer with the foot down all the way through. And it's now going to be a matter of can I catch him on the Joey Dunlops with a little bit of late braking here, and someone else manages to get around the inside of me and gets that overtake done nice and clean on me. So I'm checking if there's anyone else behind me because I'm more surprised he came out of nowhere. And we'll just go back around the outside of the paddock bends onto the Rogerson straight. That guy spins out, so that puts me back up in position for the one I lost from the guy in the white helmet. These two are now fighting, and again the guy in the white suit comes off the track. I'm going to have to stick it out wide just to make sure I'm nice and safe. I'll go on the inside, use a little bit of curb, and again inside ready on the Conrod straight. We're kind of taking a little bit of an inside line, but we know we haven't got the distance on this guy, so we're just going to try and see if we can catch some time up on the S's here. So we'll take the racing line. He's kind of doing the same himself, but I'm holding it a little bit close to the curves, having that tighter line. Again, we'll try again on the Joey Dunlop corner, and again he's taking that very well for himself, so we'll push down, foot down all the way through on the paddock bend, and we'll take a little bit of the inside line. He's taking it out wide, and I'll take that position back. I'll just give him the bit of the racing distance so we haven't got the problem there. So we'll take it tight to the left, try to aim it straight to get the inside of the right, have an early apex, so it's just probably going to compromise a little bit there, and that's how he manages to get back around, ready for the Conrod straight. So what we're going to do is just tuck him behind him, see if we can go on the inside, if there's any kind of cheeky dive we can get done there, but he's opening the gap. So we're going to try and just get back onto that curb, and again see that position. He's looking behind him, so he knows I'm on the chase. So what we'll do is go back into the Joey Dunlop corner, and again get that a little bit more comfortable turn. I think he'll use a little bit more brake that time because we want control, and also there's another guy that's come off the track. So what we found out here is probably in some corners are going to be doing a lot better. So what we want to do is make sure we're making the maximising amount on there. The blue in the race suit there is absolutely compromised this corner there on the Rogerson straight. So what we're going to do is have a look in on the lunar bend. He's on the inside, but I'm going to follow him around on the outside. This is probably going to sacrifice a little bit of speed for being on the tight. So again, I'll take on the inside. He's got his human DRS on, but I'm just going to draft off him completely. See if I'm going to gain that little bit of gap, and I'm slowly but surely getting there, getting ready to enter the S's from the inside line, so it forces him to go a little bit wide, but he kind of cuts me off there. So what we're going to do is look again. He is absolutely defending like not on earth, leaning on the inside. I'm not too sure for that one, but what we'll do is we'll keep going around. Joey Dunlop corner, we've got the inside, but he covers me off again. And at this point, I'm just getting a little bit infuriated because he's just compromising my exit speed. So into the paddocks bends, in for the left over here, and following around onto Rogerson straight. He kicks it out a little bit. So again, onto the lunar bend, I'm going to take the inside line up for the left, and this time I'll box him out on the right, follow it through, and hopefully I'm going to push it out a little bit wider, but keep that distance there, check both sides. And here we go, onto the Conrod straight, take that a little bit of curve on the exit. I'll use my DRS to make sure I've got that speed on there, into the S's, and I'm absolutely cleared him. And hopefully we don't see him for a second time. Coming up to lap 24 over here, we're just coming out of the S's. We're going to throw it down, ready for Joey Dunlop, and then And he's back again. He's managed to get the overtake on me there. So what we're going to do is see if we're going to get around. He's got the overspeed there with his DRS kicking off. So we're going to go into the paddock bends. And hopefully we're going to take back into that position. Again, he compromises a little bit exit by hitting a little bit too much curb, so it's allowed me to catch up a little bit more. So into the lunar bend, I'm going to have a look on the inside because it's come out wide. I'm going to push him out wide, and I'm going to consolidate that position back, take the inside line, get the foot down, ready for the Conrad straight. Double checking over my shoulder to make sure he's nowhere to be seen. And it's foot down onto the straight, diving into the S's with this big crowd over here. And there we go. So we can see there's a group of 1, 2, 3, 4 ahead. So what we're going to do is have a look at this first one. It's a little bit slower with the grey hoodie. Take it on the inside for the dive bomb for the Joey Dunlop. Over here, I've kind of compromised and I've had to slow down a little bit to make sure I didn't crash into that guy. Make sure he was okay. We're going to throw it around Paddock Bend, getting ready for the Rogerson Straight, and see where we take it from there if we catch up to the other guys ahead. Jumping into lap 28, and I've managed to catch up to a couple of back markers, 3 guys all together, so they're all a little bit fighting here. I kind of lose it here and almost more surprised with myself. I managed to keep it with that on the track there, really. So into the lunar bend, we're going to take a little bit that later apex, come out a little bit wider, see where the other guys are going, to then take it back in tighter and see if we can get the overtake here. So on to the Conrad Straight. It's just straight behind, see if we can get a little bit of drafting, but I'm actually just a little bit behind, but a little bit later. Braking's caught up that little bit there. So what we're going to do is push it round for the inside of the S's. He kind of almost blocks me off but keeps the room, but I still back off there and going back in for Joey Dunlop corner. I'm just looking around to see what my options are, see if I'm going to be behind him. You can see he's looking around, getting ready maybe to be defensive, so I'm getting ready for it. So into the paddock bends, I'm going to push it a little bit wider with a bit more speed. Again, not the best line of taking because I've lost so much time just from the tyre scrub there. So lunar bends left into later apex on the right, foot down all the way, so there's no compromise on my speed there, and straight towards Conrad Straight. So here now I'm just getting my foot down as much as I can to try and get some speed, checking behind me in case anyone's behind, but no one's there. So as we take the corner, there's a bit of a scruffy overtake. Someone spins out and I'm having to go straight over for a little bit of off-roading on the S's, get a bit of an overtake there. Not the way I wanted to do it, but a bit of a funny jump that one, so we're just going to keep going all the way around Joey Dunlop and see if we catch up to these guys, which we should be able to in the next coming minutes. Or am I? I'm still going to stay on lap 29 here. So we've got these two fighting ahead. It's actually slowing down a fair bit. So on to the Rogerson straight back into the lunar bend. I'll take the left, coming into the right. These two are getting quite close to each other. The guy in the white tracksuit manages to just take it too far and spins himself out. That's an overtake for me, making sure that he's okay. But we'll keep the foot down and see where we end up from here. We've got a bit of distance here, so hopefully we can catch up that time. Probably be another lap or two. We'll see where it goes from there. So we're into lap 30, and I've managed to catch up to this guy, so probably about an entire lap there. We can have a little bit on his back here, coming down the Conrad Straight and entering the S's. Again, it's just lift off and foot back on, just to make sure we've got that control and speed all the way through and managed to get leaps and bounds on this. One of the places where I found a lot of time for overtakes here. So what we're going to do is throw it down on the inside of Joey Dunlop. So I've got now this speed ready to take him on the straight. You can see the checkered flags over there. Am I going to get in for the checkered line? Just a little bit behind, but I'm not going to count that for myself. That's the end of the session there. Honestly, this was an amazing experience. First time ever going to Three Sisters. First time doing outside karting in something faster than your Sodi 200cc karts that you get in team sport. Would I recommend it? Highly. Would I go again? Absolutely. Will there be more videos of outdoor karting? You bet. This is absolutely bit in a bug where I am going to go back to these karts again, whether it's at Three Sisters or any other tracks. I'm more than happy to go back to. So if you guys have got any recommendations for any karts that are outdoors or brilliant tracks that you know of, give us a recommend on any of them. I want to experience it all the best I can. But for that, as you can see, we're entering the pit, end of the day, and I'm going to call that a day for the lap. I think the fastest we got there was 52.6 for the day, so really proud of that for the first time. If anyone else has had any great experiences like that, give us a shout in the comments, talk about your stories, and I'll catch you in the next one.